When I opened up the video yesterday, much to most of your chagrin, I had to let you know that Tuesday for me, it was going to be a day where I had to use protection. There wasn't going to be much raw dogging for me on the ice. But what applies to Tuesday does not apply to Wednesday. When I look at the schedule and I see certain games and I see certain matchups sometimes, like when you go out and you meet someone, I've never done something like this, but I've read about it. You kind of got to guess, like, you know what? I should use protection on a night like this. Other times, well, if your instincts are telling you, oh no, I trust this, you can kind of raw dog your ice hockey picks. And that's what we're going to be doing here on a Wednesday. I'm going to hardly give any player props because for some reason, I guess people out there, you're incapable of understanding what shots on goal is, block shots, assists, anything like that. You just want to know who's winning this game. I don't want to watch anything. I don't care. I just want to click a name and then just get on with my miserable existence. Well, today, it's going to be the day for you because I got certain teams that I like on this slate. And also, it allows the people who come in, whether people enjoy the videos and want to support me or whether they despise me and want to make fun of me, it makes it hard when they're like, hey, Andy, the alt-under shots on goal push. It doesn't have the same ring as, you idiot, you told me to bet against the Jets. So tonight, I'm going to give all you people the opportunity to come and give me high fives or say you're an idiot because there are teams that I like. I'm going to try raw dogging on a Wednesday for all you fine folks out there. And we're going to start at a place that I learned last week you have to pay the Dallas Cowboys tax, apparently. You know, if you bet on the Toronto Maple Leafs, I guess you always have to pay a worse price because of how popular they are in Canada. Thanks a lot, you dirtbags up there. Because on this particular night, I'm going to bet on the Toronto Maple Leafs who are playing Winnipeg. I bet against Winnipeg the other night in Boston. And I'm going to roll that over once more. I don't trust Toronto as much as I trust Boston because when you have two similar styled teams, which is what Boston and Winnipeg were, I liked taking Boston, a motivated team, to beat the top team or one of the top, I think they were the top team in the West, who was holding everybody to 2 goals or fewer, winning a whole ton of games. I like that. A West Coast team going to Boston, Boston playing a similar game. I liked Boston in that game. I'm going to roll over. This one is a little more in the sniff department because typically when a defensive team plays an offensive team, I usually side with the defensive team. In this particular scenario, in this particular case, I'm going to side with the offensive team. We'll see if it's to my demise, but I'm going to take the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the reason I'm starting with them, it's not like they're my favorite team to win on the night. I'll go to the team that I like more to win in the next game because on this slate, it's just a slew of disgusting prices. There are teams who are in good spots to win and disgusting prices across the board on them. So I at least wanted to start you off with one that's going to be a fair price, a normal price, meaning like it's not a crazy thing either way. These are two good teams. It shows you what the sports books think about Toronto, or it just shows you the Toronto tax that I guess you have to pay. I guess it's true because this game should be definitely closer to a pick'em. Winnipeg has Kyle Connor back. You got to figure Connor Hellebuck's going to be playing. So, I don't know. This one should probably be a pick'em. I would appreciate if the price was a little bit better since I'm betting against Winnipeg in the second straight game. But I'm going to take Toronto at home against the Winnipeg Jets, who are a great defensive team. But I'm taking Toronto. Now, a game that I like more than that, or a team that I like more than that to win, are the Florida Panthers. I was on Florida the other night. Even though I gave it out, many people on the Patreon were pretty skeptical. Not all the people. Some people just, I can lead them straight to hell, and they're putting on a blindfold. They're like, it's getting a little hot out here. They don't care. They'll follow me anywhere. I'm not even saying that's a good thing. That's just what they choose to do. But I had a feeling when you have a good team, and they're going through a tough stretch, and that's exactly what Florida was going through. Under Maurice, where they've embraced more of a defensive approach, and we've seen that when things are working well for them. I thought that they would go into Nashville, another team who likes to play low-scoring defense, and just grind one out. And that game, I think, was like 2-1 in the third period, and they had a couple empty netters. And when you play a good defensive game like that, I really like you in the next one. And they're facing Arizona, who's coming out there after that Pittsburgh game. And I think Florida's set up well to win. And I know you're staring at the price, but you want me to pay that? I'm not making you pay a damn thing. So what I will do to bring this down, every time I give you a price like this, we're going to have to find a way to bring it down. And the raw doggers can't handle this. I just want a raw dog. Give me a name. I want to click on it. All right, well then click on Florida. You raw dog freak. But if you want to bring this one down, I'm going to go with the Florida Panthers and under 7.5. While I know we can kind of see a variety of different types of games from Arizona, you play a defensive game like I saw them play in Nashville, I really tend to think that the following game is going to be a follow-up effort on the one that earned them that 2 points. Before that, they were getting involved in these silly games against, the Ducks, giving up 5 or 6 on their own home ice. They got back to what was working for them this year and the type of hockey Paul Maurice likes to play. I like Florida. I like it more than the Maple Leafs. And I will combine that with the under 7.5 to bring them right around to even money. Now, we had that Washington bet last night. Weirdly enough, Kuznetsov weaseled himself on the board, but that was trumped by the other 2 props that I gave you. The plus money, TJ Oshie, and then the Max Pacioretty over shots on goals. You put both of those together, that was like plus 275 or something like that. And I don't know, I think it was a bet so nice, I might want to name it twice. But since I'm sticking to raw dogging tonight for the kind folks out there, I do want to say the Avalanche at home, waiting for these Capitals to come in. Capitals played the night before against Minnesota, lost. I mean, I tried to say some nice things about the Capitals yesterday, but as I mentioned about the Avalanche many times, there's no such thing as an easy Avalanche victory. I like them in this game. It's yet another disgusting price. So what I'm going to do here, raw dogger, I don't know what to tell you, pal. Clicking on Colorado, might give you, actually, you're not even watching the game. You bet on so many things, there aren't enough TVs available for you to actually keep track of all of them. But the Avalanche, I know it didn't work out last night, but I'm going back to the under on Evgeny Kuznetsov. Maybe that's scary because Colorado kind of trades chances and goes back and forth. Why is the under on this 6? Why is the over-under on this 6? Is it because of the Washington thing? I got to say, we've been big on Washington unders much of the time. But now that Ovechkin's back, and they do have that top line that I like, and a couple of those guys got themselves on the score sheet last night, I'd be hesitant about taking Washington unders. I do still like it in many scenarios. Like if they're playing Nashville tomorrow, I would take the under on something like that. But now it's a little bit more because of Nashville. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Washington. I mean, look, they're ranked 30th, I believe, in offense. I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see them get a little bit better and climb up all the way to 24th or something like that. I don't know. But I do like Colorado in this game. They are set up well. But as I've already mentioned, it's another disgusting price. So you do have the option of combining that with the under on Evgeny Kuznetsov points. Another one of my favorite bets, and I'm going to put this, I'd say, a little bit under Florida. Don't you know, bump it up. You got to bump it up. And don't you know, bump it up. I'm going to bump up the under in the Boston-Carolina game. I feel like you guys, when you look at the schedule, you almost know this now. You're like, oh, that's got to be a bump it up under. And of course, Brenda Moore, Bruins, 2 teams who are going to grind it out and play a tough game. These matchups are usually fantastic. I will say there is the one worry of the goaltending situation in Carolina until that gets ironed out and some guys start coming back. But I still think this is going to be a tightly checked, highly contested game. And in those situations, I want the bump it up under. Give me the under 6.5. The alt under in that game between Carolina and Boston. And I just want to let you know, I think the home team has won like the last 10 matchups between those two. I don't really feel like messing with it because both of these teams are playing very well, and you shouldn't be surprised if either team wins this game. So I will go with the under 6.5 in that one. And then one last one. How about we reintroduce those cockroaches into our lives? And this time we're going to need the cockroaches. We're going to get on their backs and ride them. I like them against Chicago. They're going to be at home against Chicago. We obviously are not taking this beyond disgusting price. So what I'm going to do in this one, give me the under on a point from Jason Dickinson. I did this one the other night with Quinn Hughes. Give me Seattle to win with the under on points from Jason Dickinson. You're going to see Seattle win this game defensively. Then you also factor that Chicago got shut out in the last one. You kind of know I like taking unders after a shutout. So I wouldn't be opposed to the bump it up under in this one, the under 6.5. And I didn't mention that about that Florida game. I also like a standalone bet. I already gave you Florida with the under 7.5. I kind of like the under 6.5 as well because of how Florida played in that last game. And that's what I got for you. That's mostly raw dogging, okay? I know I had to throw in a little here, throw in a little there. But if you want, you can just be that maniac who just says, this guy, you want to call someone. I want this person to win, this team to win, this team to win, this team to win. Hang up the phone. But there's some stuff in there. There obviously is always additional stuff on the Patreon. I'll try to find some additional Ruckus tickets. Was able to hit like a plus 500 last night. We'll look to continue that. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Let's hope we come out of this raw dogging session as clean as possible. And I will be back with you guys tomorrow with another big slate. You know, pretty big slate after pretty big slate. Hopefully it goes well. We will see. Regardless, I'll be back tomorrow to either face the music or receive a bunch of pats on the back. I will talk to you then.